Okay, chapter 16, easier. You're kind of quiet this morning. Just thinking. I can tell that Mom wants me to talk more, but I know she's not going to push it. She's good with silence. And anyway, if I talk to her, I don't think she'd like what I have to say. I'm still kind of stuck on graveyards. Ever since I texted with Gramp last night. He was so sad about Grandma. When I asked Mom if she would drive me this morning, she said, sure, no questions asked. I wanted to avoid the scene on the bus. I feel like gangs of Buttons maniacs would pounce on me, looking for trades. Of course, I don't actually know if Buttons are even still a thing. Maybe over the weekend, everyone decided Buttons was dumb. Maybe there's some new fad I don't know about. Some online craze that lit up the scenes, blasting the Buttons out of every single kid's head. Right back into the little Button graveyards. So, where do you think Grandma is right now? She smiles a little, her eyes on traffic, but it's like my question doesn't surprise her one bit. I don't know, Grace, not for sure. If you're asking me if your grandmother is still herself, still somewhere, then I would say yes, I believe she is. But I do not know that. The same way I know, but do I know that the same way I know that the sun comes up every morning? Then no, I don't know it like that. Then how come you believe she's still herself? Are you saying that you think Grandma's still alive but somewhere else, like heaven? We're backed up at the stoplight now, moving ahead only a little with each green light. And Mom is thinking before she answers me. I don't recall if I've ever told you this before. I was about 20 years old, and in one of my college courses, the professor asked the whole class to close our eyes and sit very still. Then she asked, is it possible for you to imagine that the world you've known your whole life isn't there anymore? And I decided I could imagine that, no problem. Then she said, it is impossible for you to imagine that your physical body is not sitting in a chair in some classroom, that your body isn't really anywhere in the world at all. And again, that you're pretty easy for me to imagine. Then she asked, is it possible for you to imagine that that part of you that is doing all the imagining could just stop it and never think anything at all ever again? And after about a minute of sitting there thinking, I decided I could not imagine that, not at all. Those are some weird questions. I agree. It turned out that our professor was borrowing them from a philosopher named Descartes. And we went on to study a lot of his writings. But I never forgot that moment. And I believe that Grandma is still herself, still thinking, still loving you and Ben and your dad and me and Grandpa. So you're saying people don't really die when they die? I'm saying that I think I can see how that would be possible. Do I know it for sure? No. And I guess I wouldn't completely know any of this for sure until the moment when I die, or rather when I don't die, when I figure out that I haven't stopped thinking or stopped being myself. Where I will be at that moment or what any of that will be like, I have no idea, not yet. So this is a theory. Correct, a theory. I'm quiet and the traffic starts moving again. Mom reaches over and pats my arm. Pretty deep thoughts for a Sunday, Monday morning. Yeah, sorry. Don't apologize. I love the way you think and think and think. You always have and you always will. Thanks. We have another quiet stretch before the next question. Did I hear you tell Dad that you and Ellie are having some troubles? At least right now. Sorry to hear that. You two been friends for a long time. Yeah, I don't say more because I don't know if there's anything else to say. But I do think of a question. Of all the kids you knew back when you were in 6th grade, are you friends with any of them still? Nope, not a single one. My family moved from Ohio to Massachusetts, from Massachusetts to Illinois, and then back to a different town in Massachusetts, all before I graduated from high school. It's hard to keep in touch with school friends. I know I could track down some of them now if I wanted to, but once you lose contact, there are a few reasons to pick up the threads again. And I was out of high school before Facebook and texting all came along. Now it's a lot easier. Yeah, totally easier. Easier is a very nice idea. There are about 100 things that I wish I could get easier. Except wishing isn't scientific. Isn't that Hank Powell standing near the door? We are pulling into the drop-off area in the front of the school. And Mom's right, that's him. Say hello for me, will you? Sure. And have a wonderful day, Grace. You know how you're always telling your father to stop worrying? Take your own advice, okay? Okay, thanks for the ride. You're welcome. I love you, Grace. I love you too. Bye. Bye. As the car pulls away, Hank sees me and waves and a smile on his face. I smile back, particularly just to be friendly. But there's another reason for my smile. I can see that walking into the school this morning is going to be better than I thought it would be. It's going to be easier. Wow, that was some pretty heavy conversation she had with her mom. So obviously, I don't know where their faith is, but we all know that when we die, we go to heaven. As long as we've done everything that we're supposed to, right? Which we will. Okay, that's chapter 16.